Everyone keeps asking me, Ryan, when is it going to be Altseason? Most people, though, haven't even experienced the real Altseason. But anyone that was here in 2017 and 2021, they know exactly what a parabolic Altseason feels like. It's a really short part at the end of the cycle where tokens go up 10x, 50x, and even 100x in just a few weeks. It's euphoric. It's literally the only reason why we're all in crypto. We endure 4 years of bear markets and abuse just to enjoy 16 weeks of Altseason at the end of the cycle. But here's the problem. Most people realize that it's Altseason when Altseason's almost over. And what usually ends up happening is that they land up buying in the last part of the cycle and then land up holding the bag all the way down. I'm Crypto Man Run, and I've been here for 3 Altseasons. And the truth is that Altseasons actually follow a very predictable sequence. My goal is to build the most profitable community in the world. And that's why I'm making this video. I want you guys to be able to recognize Altseason before the FOMO and the crowds pile in. And I don't want you guys holding the bags on the way down. So today, I'm going to show you the exact charts and indicators that I'm watching from 2017, 2021, and the ones that I'm watching right now, so that you guys can front run Altseason instead of chasing it all the way down. And let me tell you, it's much closer than you think. So let's start off by defining Altseason. Altseason is a very short period of time at the end of the 4-year cycle where alts outperform Bitcoin and ETH. It's the part of the cycle where the money flows from Bitcoin to ETH, and then from ETH to the large cap alts, and eventually the small cap alts. You see the Bitcoin dominance falling off a cliff. You see ETH outperforming Bitcoin. And then you see the altcoins outperforming ETH. And that's when the real Altseason starts. And all of this happens really, really quickly. It's the period of the cycle of peak euphoria. And when it ends fast. And that marks the end of the cycle and the beginning of a long, tough bear market. Most people only enter in the last part, the part where the market's already going parabolic and everyone is celebrating on Twitter and posting screenshots of their wins. And the truth is that most of them who were taking screenshots, they probably should have been taking profits, but they didn't. And so they hold the bags all the way down, below the entries and straight into the bear market. The 2 most important things about Altseason is to get in early and to get out early. And that's what I want to focus on today. I want to focus on being able to identify Altseason early and being able to get out on time with your money in your hand. So what are the real indicators that tell us when the actual Altseason starts? Well, it starts off with a flow of money from Bitcoin into ETH. And the truth is that most people actually miss this because they're looking at the wrong charts. You see, they look at the price charts of Bitcoin and the price charts of ETH. But what they should be looking at is the price of ETH against Bitcoin, the 𝗬𝗏𝗏 chart, the chart that shows the performance of ETH against Bitcoin. In 2017, the 𝗬𝗏𝗏 chart bottomed, and then as soon as it started climbing, a few weeks later, the full-blown Altseason kicked off. In 2021, same thing. 𝗬𝗏𝗏 starts turning up, a few weeks later, a massive altcoin run. Why? Because ETH is the biggest altcoin, and it acts as the bridge between Bitcoin and the rest of the altcoin markets. When ETH starts outperforming Bitcoin, it means that traders have made enough profits on Bitcoin, and now they're ready to take on more risk. That risk appetite then spills over into ETH, from ETH to the large cap alts, then to the mid cap alts, and eventually it's pretty much every altcoin on the market. What we can see right now is that the 𝗬𝗏𝗏 chart has broken, and that the money is already flowing into ETH. You can see it in the charts, but you can also see it in the news or the ETF flows. And if we follow what happened in the previous cycles, history says that altcoin season is going to follow in less than a few weeks. The next thing we look at is we look at Bitcoin dominance, and specifically the Bitcoin dominance chart. And for the true Altseason to start, this chart must break down fast, and it's got to break down through those key levels. Some of the key levels are the 200-day moving average and the 50-day moving average. In 2017, Bitcoin dominance broke below the 50 and the 200 MA. In 2021, exactly the same thing. And then within weeks, dominance fell from 60% to 40%. And now in 2025, the Bitcoin dominance chart, well, it's at 59%. And it's broken below the 200 and the 50 MA. What does that mean? Well, it means that if history repeats, the Bitcoin dominance chart has already started to fall. And it's probably about to fall straight down the cliff. And that would mean that the real alt season's already here. The third indicator is the Altseason index. This Altseason index is literally built to answer the question, are we in alt season yet? It's the ultimate indicator that retail investors use to gauge whether we're in alt season. And that's why they get wrecked. Because what this indicator measures is how many of the top altcoins are already outperforming Bitcoin. And what it says is that if 75% of the altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin, well, then it must be alt season. But don't fall for this. Because by the time 75% of the top 50 altcoins have beaten Bitcoin, well, yeah, that's alt season, but it's also late in the alt season. And if you wait for this indicator, then you're retail. You're going to get in when 75% of the altcoins have already run so hard that they've outperformed Bitcoin. If you're going to use this index, you should get in when only a few coins have outperformed Bitcoin, but when the trend is up. Typically what you want to see a sustained move that has momentum. So what I do is I look for a 30-point upward move from the low. And if we break that, then it seems like the momentum is up and we're going to move into alt season. This move started when the alt season index was at 12. Now we're above 45. In fact, we're going towards 51. And that's the exact place that we need to be to decide if there's going to be a move. If we break up from here, if we get above 45 and 50, that indicator is telling me that we're heading into alt season. Lastly, I want to show you my final alt season indicator. This is the one. It's called the CBBI indicator. It's the bull market confidence gauge. Not many people know about this one, and to be honest, generally, I don't like sharing it because I use it as my personal bull market scoreboard. But it also tells me when the market's getting overheated and when to exit at the end of the cycle. This indicator is available on a site called Collins Talks Crypto, and it uses a combination of 9 other indicators to measure the confidence that investors have in the bull market. I'm going to leave a link for you below, but please, don't share it with too many people. And if you do, please make sure they're part of the family and subscribe to our channel. Deal? And by the way, if you haven't subscribed, please do so before using the indicator. I guarantee you that subscribing to this channel is the single most profitable thing you're going to do before the end of the cycle. Anyway, let's go back to the CBBI indicator. I like to look at it because it's a combination of 9 different metrics. And then it's scored from 0 to 100. Now let's see what happened in previous cycles. In 2017, alt season began when this indicator was around 75. And it peaked around 95 to 100. In 2021, when it got to between 75 and 80, 𝗬𝗏BTC broke out, and that was alt season. Right now, well, we're at 78. When the CBBI moves between 75 and 80, 𝗬𝗏BTC breaks out, and BTC dominance usually falls off a cliff. And that's the trifecta that starts the alt season. And whenever we see this indicator above 90, well, we need to be careful because that's the time when we should start taking profits. We're going to talk a lot more about taking profits in my next video because the truth is that all these indicators, all these calls, they're all worthless if you can't leave the market with the cash in the hand. So now let's go back to where we started. Run, when is it alt season? Well, we're in the last 4 months of the bull market. The money is already flowing from Bitcoin to ETH. I mean, just look at the 𝗬𝗏BTC charts. Look at the Bitcoin dominance, which is falling off a cliff and already at 59%. The alt season index, well, that's already climbed 30 points. And to me, it looks like it's on the up and up, right? And the CBBI indicator, well, It's at 76. In that sweet spot between 75 and 80. All this is happening. But the one thing that hasn't happened is total 3 hasn't broken out. So what's the data telling us? The data says that the season is changing and that we're probably already in the very, very early stages of Altseason. History says that the next 2 to 3 months are going to bring us the fastest gains in the cycle. But don't wait for Twitter to tell you that it's Altseason. By that time, it's already halfway over. You have the data. You have the indicators. Now it's time for you to make your move with conviction. In the next video, I'm going to show you my exact exit strategy so that you know how to leave this market with all your profits. Guys, make sure to watch that video because that's the most important step of the cycle. I'll see you guys again soon. And until then, trade well, my friends.